routine that these sides seem to go through these days, and the pitch in superb condition. A tribute to the groundsman. A lot of heavy rain here in the north, but plenty of grass, just a little sand there in the middle. Ideal for two sides that really do like to run the ball. Sam Panapa there, he's seen big games many a time with Wigan. Sean Brown, the scrum half, deputising for Andy Gregory, as we mentioned earlier, and Phil Ford, experienced Salford wing. Salford, of course, like to play exciting rugby. They do move the ball around the field. I think we'll have plenty of tries this afternoon. Salford in the traditional red colours of the Red Devils, as they are known. First christened back in the 30s when they toured France, and the two skippers with differing roles and differing sizes. Greg Mackey, the diminutive scrum half, and David Young, the powerful Welsh prop, number 8 for Salford. Referee John Connolly, 35 years of age, from Wigan. We've seen his twin brother Robert in action on grandstand. Both of them former amateur players with Wigan St Patrick's. And the additional display for the mascots. These youngsters now really battle to become the club mascots. And a nice photograph to put on the mantelpiece. David Young there, the former Cardiff and Leeds prop, and Greg Mackey from Australia. And Mr. Connolly wanting the coin to hit the ground, and the present there for the little Salford Red Devil. He's just having a word with both skippers, and he's having a word, Joe, about the play of the ball, which we're going to see a clamp down, aren't we? Referee Supremo Greg McCallum has called for that, and I think it's welcome.
It is, definitely. It's a new directive to all clubs to be cleaner around the play of the ball, which enables both teams to play fast, attractive football. I'm sure that's what we'll see today.
Ideal conditions, the heavy rain which was forecast here in the northwest, not quite materialised. It is overcast, the floodlights on already, as this youngster for Warrington, Iestyn Harris, proceeds to kick off. Just 18 years of age at the North Chadderton Sixth Form College, and picked up already by Sam Panapa. Warrington lively in the tackle already, Steve.
That was a great chase by Cullum there. He done a super job on Panapa, and the game started at a fast pace.
David Young taking the ball away. Warrington, 4 times winners of this regal trophy. Salford just one appearance, runners-up in the final. Oh, and that was well, that was a powerful tackle. Mr. Connolly right in on the spot.
Yeah, you'll see that Chambers went very high on Cliff Eccles there. He's got to keep him down. I think Mr. Connolly there is trying to settle it down straight away, and he's not going to put up with any play like that.
He definitely went high in the tackle, a little bit too aggressive early on. Yes, and it was definitely above the shoulder, and a penalty, rightly so.
And all credit to Mr. Connolly there, no hesitation, stopped the play, certainly had a word with the gentleman concerned. And Cliff Eccles back in the play. And Warrington rightly punished for that offence with 45-yard movement upfield by Salford. And it's Salford using this pack now down that right-hand side. Mark Lee to Brown, to Young. Young, when he first signed from Rugby Union to Leeds, didn't really hit it off in the game, but now a great success here at the Willows. Sam Panapa. To Blakely. Blakely trying to open that ball out wide to Paul Forber. Forber been troubled with a groin strain of late. Just inside this 20-metre area. Scott Mann. to Blakely. Well, I was almost about to say, well read, Steve, by Yasin Harris, but a little bit of panic at the end.
He did. He took his time there, Yasin Harris, to get to the ball. It's a good little kick by Steve Blakely. And there's Yasin Harris there. He's left it to the last minute and then had to get it out. Salford at this stage, they're content on attacking Warrington's right-hand side.
Panapa. Jason Critchley, 2 years at the Willows, signed from the Widnes Club and an England player. But it's still Salford on the attack and using the prop forwards, Cliff Ackles and David Young. There is Young with the run around to Panapa. This is good play. Out wide, Jason Williams. Oh, just almost through, just 5 yards from the Warrington line. Williams there from Australia, a Kiwi. Paul Forber drives for the line. Look for support. On the 5th tackle. Well, I think the Warrington lad there, Chris Rudd, was trapped. He wasn't really lying on. Oh, just picked up there by Gary Teasdale.
Yeah, Salford have had all the possession to start the game, a dream start for Salford, and used it very, very well. They managed to pin Warrington down the wall line, and this is the first real chance Warrington have had to get hold of the ball.
Warrington then, first real time in possession, and of course rugby league all about possession. The ball may change hands every 6 tackles, but it's the side that can keep those 6 tackles and keep that momentum going that invariably wins. Maguire. Warrington doing well with the forwards there, making good ground. Now looking to Maloney to make further ground. He does do. Not roll into touch. Well picked up there by Scott Mann. And Phil Ford, one of the many Welshmen to grace the Willows. David Young already, Richard Webster as well here at Salford. And a penalty. Interfering at the play of the ball. We mentioned that early, and Gary T should know better.
It's exactly what we talked about before the game, where the referee was going to penalise anybody for messing about the play of the ball. Just held it a little bit too long there.
That's it, Joe. If you're marker, you're not allowed to touch the man at all who's playing the ball.
Salford on the attack again. Sean Brown launching these big, powerful Salford forwards. Young. Blakely can't get through. Good tackling there from Chambers. And certainly the Warrington defence around the ruck seems to be sure, seems to be steady. Salford trying to open it wider. Forber, he's got a chance here. He's looking for support. He put the little dummy in. He's got Brown. Tremendous tackle. Tremendous tackle there from Paul Cullen. Saved the day. Wonderful break, but equally superb tackle.
It did save the day. Paul Cullen came across here. Sean Brown just kept hold of the ball a little bit too long. I think if the pass had been given to the centre, then there'd have been a try on.
Well, some inexperience here, I think, from Sean Brown, because the men outside him were unmarked, quick passes, and they had definitely scored, Salford.
And once again, a penalty for lying on at the play of the ball. That's the second penalty we've seen. The idea behind this clamp down at the play of the ball really is to open out play, to create a good 10-metre gap, to let players with skills use those skills.
We talked to John Connolly before the game, the referee, and he said that he would warn players if penalties were given, too many penalties were given, then he wouldn't be afraid to sin bin plays, and I'm sure that will happen if the penalties keep happening.
Warrington, Greg Mackey to Francis Maloney. Maloney, a powerful player. Stand up, he's got Maguire inside him. Looked a little forward, and it was Mr. Connolly right on the spot. Excellent refereeing, a very fit referee. He was there.
You see Francis Maloney there, he's very powerful and strong. I think if he's got one fault, Francis Maloney, is that he's not good at the ball going through his hands, and as you've seen there, he waited to the last minute to offload. He could have offloaded earlier.
Scott Mann helping out there, coming into the standoff role. Still Salford employing these, looked a little high as well there from Paul Cullen on David Young, but Mr. Connolly happy with that. Salford being in excellent form in the championship. Mark Lee spotting that Warrington were up very, very quickly. A tester for Harris there. Just outside his 20-metre area, and a good pass there to Bennett. Andy Bennett, chunky winger. I've seen him in the hooking role at Wilderspool. Mackey again, leading the charge. Good dummy from Mackey. Just pulled down by Mann. But Warrington still on the attack to Shelford. Maloney. Very strong player at standoff, this former Featherstone Rovers half-back star. Built more like a loose forward. And there is a loose forward, wants the standoff. Shelford to Maguire. Shelford again at the acting half-back. A good quick play, the wall. He's got support on his outside. Roper in the corner. Dropped the ball as the referee, Mr. Connolly, signalling there that Andy Bennett, well, he's giving the try. Mr. Connolly sought the assistance of the touch judge. Many supporters felt that he'd not placed the ball correctly, but referee Mr. Connolly says yes, Andy Bennett has. It's the first try.
This was good play from Warrington in the build-up, but I'm sure this wasn't a try. Kelly Shelford goes across the field here. The short pass. Everett looks cover, but Bennett gets the ball on the outside, and he just watches the tackles made here. He definitely loses possession there. That wasn't a try.
Yes, I don't think there's much doubt here, Joe. Here we see Bennett, he comes off that right foot, he goes over, and then, yes, he loses the ball. There he does, he loses it, and he's on his back as well.
I think maybe on that occasion with assistance, if you have a look at it, Scott Mann has actually ripped the ball out of his hands there going down. The referee may have awarded the try, penalty try for Mann stealing the ball.
Quite possible there, Steve. Reminds me of that Elia try at Wembley for your old club against St Helens.
Yeah,
it was a try then and could have been a penalty try now.
That's right, and he asked the touch judge there, and the touch judge may have said that Scott Mann stolen the ball, and he's awarded it.
Whatever the case, it's 4 points.
Exactly.
But the goal kick right out there on the touchline for Harris. Of course, Justin Harris, not the normal kicker for Warrington. That man, Jonathan Davis, sat on the sidelines today. But he is a good kicker. He's got to gauge this wind. He's got a wind slightly in his favour. It's coming across field towards those posts. Can he gauge the wind? No, I'm afraid he can't. Just drops in front of that crossbar. So Salford 0, Warrington 4.
Bennett left all on his own on the wing here, goes for the corner flag. Mahone comes across in the tackle. I think he was perfectly right there to go for the ball. It was a good tackle and he lost it. I don't think that was a try, and I think Salford will be a bit aggrieved about that.
Here we see from the top shots. Well, it's one of the talking points that makes rugby such a fascinating game, Steve.
It is, but then again, if you've got Warrington, they score a try, they get the advantage, then from the kick-off they make an error of letting the ball go dead.
And of course the result of that error is a drop out beneath the posts. Should be, and we stress should be, Salford's possession if they catch or retrieve this ball. Will Ford to catch, he does. 13 seasons in the game, this Welshman from Cardiff, Phil Ford, and it's still Salford now then, driving back in. The switch, and a nice switch to Craig Randall, back to Brown. This scrum half from the Lee East Amateur Club, buzzing about in midfield. Paul Forber likes to run out wide, especially down this left-hand side. We should see him quite a few times in this first half.
Ray, just on the dropout there. Phil Ford caught the ball in the field of play. If he hadn't let the ball go out in the full, Salford would have got a penalty in front of the post and had 2 points now.
Mr. Connolly wanting the 2 packs to get away. And he's just warned the 2 front rows. He's going to penalise somebody if they don't pack in the problems. Mark Forster. Maguire, Warrington, hemmed in here, Barlow, the Kiwi, and Richard Duckyfield down there.
Yes, with Warrington assistant coach Clive Griffiths. Clive, some confidence I expect in that early try.
Yes, it gives us a good start, particularly after we held them out earlier for 2 sets of 6 tackles down there, and to come to the other end and score 4 points was a good start for us.
A little bit of controversy about the try, but the replay seems to suggest it was.
Yeah, we can't tell from this level, obviously, but we'll accept it, and it's got us on a roll.
Thanks, Clive.
Well, I don't think Richard was looking at the same try that I was looking at, but nevertheless he's down there on the ground and not got the same view. Over here's Warrington racing through. The ball just flicked there. Superb run by Roper. But Salford in possession, and I'm sure Phil Ford will just want to hang on to this ball here, and he'll not want to get pushed back over that line in the enforced dropout. Salford then under pressure. Paul Forber with a charge. Took that chap penalty very, very well and illustrated what I was saying there earlier. A very exciting run, but again a penalty. Penalty, Warrington lying on again at that play the ball. He's just having a word with Greg Mackey again. He's just reiterating what he said earlier. And in fact, Steve, he's just warned the Warrington skipper that the next man will be to the sin bin.
That's what he's done, and it's a good job. You've got to get off these players. The players have got to learn sooner or later, and if it's by getting penalised all the time, they've got to learn the hard way.
That was a bad mistake there from Salford, not to find the touch from the penalty. Put the pressure right back on his team there.
Greg Mackey looks a forward, and that is a forward. Greg Mackey a little annoyed there, but Gary T's not exactly timing his run.
Yeah, Greg Mackey, the pass was always on, but the timing wasn't quite right, and he did put the ball forward.
So Warrington just at 1 try in the lead. Scott Mann tries to move it out wide there to Jason Critchley's direction. Feckel's getting through a lot of work around these rucks. Mark Lee switches to that blind side. Sam Panaper running on it like the centre he used to be, and Scott Mann, number 1 there, linking up out wide. Brown did well to get all of that pass. Blakely, he likes to run, he's quick off the mark, he saw it gap, didn't quite get through it. And I'm pretty sure that Mr. Connolly is going to send someone to the sin bin there. And it's Gary Tees who looks to be going on his way to the sin bin. Mr. Connolly losing patience with the Warrington forward, so a 10-minute spell.
Well, he's warned the players often enough. This is the first sin bin in offence.
You see here the tackle. Chambers makes the tackle. Now, Salford and now Too's come in. There was no need for Too's to come on him at all. It was a late tackle. He was tackled by Chambers. Too's come in late there and deserves to get the sin bin. They've been warned plenty of times.
Well, it's not a minute or two ago that the referee, Mr. Connolly, warned Greg Mackey. He told him that a third man coming in would be sent to the sin bin, and that's what he has done. He's carrying out the directive to the letter of the law. And it's Steve Blakely looking to put 2 points on the scoreboard for Salford. Just 2 years at the Willows here, this lad from Central Park, Wigan. And he does find the 2 points. No problems from the youngster Blakely there. So Salford hitting back, thanks to that indiscretion from Tees. 4-2 for the visitors. And Brian Johnson, the Warrington coach, looks a little worried. He's obviously chatting to Clive Griffiths on that walkie-talkie. He'll certainly be concerned at the fact that his team's down to 12 men.
I also just seen Gary Chambers walking off there into the tunnel. I don't know what the problem is. Maybe he's in the blood bin or something, but he definitely walked off, took his headgear off and went to the tunnel for some treatment.
Yes, it is the blood bin, Steve. If he noticed, he did put a headgear on for the last 2 or 3 minutes. And Gary Sanderson coming onto the field. Sam Panapel. There's one thing about the speed of the play of the ball. It does allow the big forwards to really race on like Forwards doing here now, Steve.
Well, it does. It's giving you 20 metres nearly between the attack to the defence, and the attacking team can have a lot of options.
Not a knock on, the ball went backwards from Mark Lee there, a £15,000 bargain from St Helens. Harris. Only 18 years of age, but already represented Wales. And Bennett doing well to come in off his wing there to assist the forwards.
It's been good defence from Salford though. That was an excellent kick by Steve Blakely into the corner, and then the Salford chase was excellent to pin Warrington down in their own 20.
There we see the possession that Salford have had, yet not really made the best use of it, Steve.
They haven't. John Connell's checking there. The ball was knocked on there. He's just checking. No, they haven't. They've had a couple of chances and haven't taken them. Where Warrington's had a couple and they've scored a try.
Here we see definite knock-on. Salford ball. Blakely shows the ball to Jason Williams, but Williams there acting half-back number 4, a wing. Canterbury Bankstown in Australia, but coming into the centre because the youngster McAvoy, normally the centre, number 5 there, moved on the wing. He's got a sore toe. Eccles again. Young looks for Sam Panapper driving to those posts. Oh yes! And Sam Panapper, he came through there like an express train on the inside, but it was the work of the prop forwards that set up the situation, and as I was just saying, the greater space between the teams allows the big men to really get some steam up. Good try, excellent support play.
Yeah, you can see Young here draws the man in on the defence, and then Sam Panapper comes turning onto the ball at speed, and with the power and strength that he has, Sam crashes over the line. That's a great try from Salford to bring them back into the game.
It's good play here from Salford. Young takes the ball across. He was always coming inside Sam Panapper. He gets behind the play the ball area where the defence is weak, and his power, one-handed, scored a great try.
And that leaves what should be a simple conversion for Blakely. Former Lee Rangers amateur player, top try scorer for Salford last season. A tricky wind facing him, but shouldn't have too many problems with this, just 10 metres out. And there are the 2 points. So, Salford going into the lead for the first time, 8 points to 4.
I'm sure you'll agree here, Steve, this is a planned move where David Young takes the ball, cuts back in towards the play the ball area, and Sam Panapa there in behind the play the ball, exploiting the space that's left by the markers.
It was a planned move there, but I think the biggest play in all of that was Gary's 2 sending off there. They are now defending with 12 players.
And I think one difference here is that extra yard of pace that Sam Panapa has. Of course, he was a centre and a standoff, just took them by surprise.
And from the touchline, just an update on the Warrington's prop forward, Gary Chambers. He's off in the blood bin. He's got a cut over his left eye. It's going to take about 2 to 3 stitches to repair it.
Salford then seeking to use the numerical advantage with the Tees on the bench in the sin bin. Martley to Brown. Brown still launching this lad Eccles, and that again. Another high tackle, keep it down, says Mr. Connolly. Once again, it's Paul Cullen. Warrington having a lot of problems handling these 2 prop forwards, Steve, for Salford.
They have. I think the biggest problem they got, Warrington, is they're worried about everybody else's game except their own.
Salford then in possession. Jason Williams, very lively Kiwi test player. Brown again, and Blakely combining well in midfield with Panapa. Very tricky midfield trio for Salford. Blakely again from the acting half-back position, but well covered this time by Maguire. Lee, chip kick for McAvoy, a little bit too strong, but nevertheless it keeps Salford moving forward, puts them just 10 metres from that Warrington line.
It was a good option here. The hooker seeing the gap behind the defensive line was always going to cause problems if he didn't go out.
And a good push by Salford. Unfortunate that Brown doesn't retain possession. The ball came out the same side, but certainly a good push. We don't see many rugby league packs really pushing like that these days. Content to just restart the game. Maloney driving in. Offside there, not square at the play the ball. The marker's not behind there, Steve.
No, that's what the penalty's for. He's moved off the mark before the ball was played.
And Mr. Connolly warning the Salford side that the next offence at the play the ball will be in the sin bin. Cullen, nice one-handed pass there. Warrington still keeping this ball moving. Harris, but not really going forward. Mackie. Harlow from the Waikato club in New Zealand. Maguire looking to kick, puts the pressure on McAvoy. Oh, I don't think he thought that. I don't think he expected Mark Foster to be coming along there. He certainly was taking his time. Was the youngster, and the kick through. You can kick through like that. Ball going dead, being touched by Scott Mann, and so the touch judge, Mr. Molyneux, signifying that as Scott Mann touched it, it's a dropout.
I don't think he did touch this. He let the ball run. The kick through there at the marker. Scott was on hand and made sure that he didn't touch it just before the line. I don't think he touched it before it left.
I think the bad play there was from young McAvoy, who took his time to get back for the ball and then was lazy at playing it.
Yeah, Ray, you mentioned that you didn't think the chasing team was. You didn't think the chasing team was there, but that's no excuse. You should chase every ball, thinking that somebody's going to pick it up before you.
We should look at Gary Tees here coming back on. So Warrington back to 13 men, and the pace moving up a notch or two now as Warrington sensed he might be in for a try here. Mackey now moves it now across field. Good ball there to Shelford. Shelford. Got Roper on his inside. Mackey using that blind side. Oh, well picked up by Warrington there, but good tackling out wide there by Jason Critchley. Shelford. Maguire. A loose pass, gratefully received by Salford. Sean Brown, Paul Forber. Young McAvoy only passed fit this morning. It was feared he may have a broken toe, but thankfully not. Back to Brown. And that's a long kick. But well covered by Harris. Greg Mackey. That little dummy. Oh, just an ankle tap there by Eccles, but causing problems in midfield. Kelly Shelford now. Warrington looking livelier. Mackey, Shelford, Maloney beginning to put the passes together in midfield. Here's Mackey again. Back to Cullen. Cullen, the ball to Harris. Harris coming through. He's got Tees on his outside, and it's number 8 for Warrington. Gary Tees in for the try. Only just arrived back on the field from his sin bin experience, and his first try of the season. It was the break in midfield, but good support play from the prop.
This is a set play that Warrington use a lot. The ball back in on an angle pass there to Cullen, picking up Iston Harris right where the ball was played, straight behind that area where the defence is weak. Iston Harris makes a break, and Chambers probably making up for his 10 minutes in the sin bin there by scoring close to the post.
Yes, it was Iston Harris, as you say, a planned move, comes back down the middle of the ruck. A good pass and 4 points for a try.
Iston Harris then with the kick. The wind blowing quite strongly here at the Willows, but again I wouldn't think it would present too many problems for this teenager. It doesn't. 2 more points for the young wire. Warrington back in the lead. 8 points for Salford, 10 for Warrington.
The overhead view here, ideal to see why and how this try was scored. Cullen, the inside ball, straight back down the middle, where the play of the ball had occurred. And then Harris to Tees and over the try line. Great try, well-worked move.
This is a play here. They use it a lot, Warrington. It's one of their set plays, trying to attack behind there. Young Sean Brown once again missed a tackle there. He's been pushed off a couple of times already in this game, and he just have to lift his defensive part.
Well, Warrington's Gary Chambers, who went to the blood bin, is out of time, so it means he'll come back as a substitute, which effectively means that Warrington will lose one of their substitutes, and the Warrington coach, Brian Johnson, is basically saying that the forward should be carrying the ball more, should be driving the ball more before trying to spread it. They need to make more yardage.
Certainly I would agree with Brian Johnson there, the two props for Salford, David Young and Cliff Eccles, showing them the way at the moment in the middle. It's Phil Ford. The sidestepping Phil Ford going down that wing. He's got one man to beat. Salford are in. Superb effort. Phil Ford made it. Excellent try. But it was Phil Ford, the man. He went down that far side. The sidestepping run down the touchline that did it.
Yeah, Phil Ford was given too much space here on the blind side of the ruck, around the back side of the scrum. Uses the touchline as his friend, beats the winger, and then there's Randall on his inside. Lovely time pass, and Randall goes under the sticks to make the kick easier. The perfect reply from Salford.
Once again, Phil Ford seeing the outside, and it was Randall here again. Good support play, probably heeded the message from Tees, but this man Randall from Australia, he can run, he has pace to go round the Warrington cover. Excellent touchdown.
Well, some inexperience there by young Bennett, who let Phil Ford on the outside of him. You should never let the quick man on the outside. Your cover can't get across, and it's probably a learning experience probably, but he's going to learn the hard way.
One of the problems with the huge mounds of sand, whenever you have a high wind, the ball tends to be blown over.
Also there, Ray, Warrington, they've scored twice now, and after the try they've come up with mistakes straight away both times.
No mistakes from Salford, the conversion from Blakely, and so in this seesaw battle it's Salford back in the lead. Salford 14 and Warrington 10.
Yeah, on the replay again, Andy Bennett's already let Phil Ford go round him and down the touchline, and then the perfect pass inside, and that's a great try. Craig Randall just improving the handle, going under the post to make the kick an awful lot easier for Phil Blakely.
There's the overhead. You see Phil Ford, he got around there, young Andy Bennett there. Great backing up from Craig Randall for a good try.
Salford still keeping this ball into the forwards. Paul Forber moving well there. And Craig Randall, the try scorer from Australia. Again, Salford employing this tactical kick right down to that far corner. Well, Yasin Harris doing very, very well to escape out of trouble. But an injury there to Jonathan Roper, a turned ankle. Salford using the kicking game well, Steve. They really are pumping the ball down to those corners.
They are. The wind there's a little bit behind them, I think. They've got a great kick, and the chase has been excellent.
Kelly Shelford. Again, the ankle tap brings Shelford to the floor. Mackey. Maguire, good support play again from Cullen. And Mark Foster, knee injury. But still the play goes on.
This game's been started for the first half. It's tremendous pace, and I'm sure when people tie in the second half, there are a lot more tries to come, Steve.
Well, Mark Foster in considerable pain there. And I think one of the problems for the players now is under this speeding up. You know, injuries will occur.
They will. You're going to have to be very fit players now.
Jason Williams, oh, a nice sidestep from him, goes on the outside. He had McAvoy inside him, chose to go on his own. Possibly a chance missed. But the ball to Brown, to Blakely. Scott Marnes out there. He's got Forward outside, but he gets it to Sam Panaper. Panaper's going to go all the way. Salford gets it inside to Jason Critchley. Paneper once again steaming down out wide, and Salford go in the lead, 18 points to 10.
Jason Williamson made the break, then the ball's passed from the left to the right. A good back line from Salford. And Sam Paneper out wide. He seems to have been all over the field this afternoon. Shows his pace again, then turns the ball back inside to Jason Critchley for another great try for Salford. They really are playing well.
You see here, Andy Bennett's inside Roper there. Both of them let the attack get on the outside of them. Once you're on the outside, you've got to chase, and it's hard to get across and cover defence. I think Roper was injured earlier, and maybe that's why he was out there. And I think Warrington are in a lot of trouble at the moment because Roper and Foster are carrying injuries out there.
I think, Steve, that was one of the reasons why Salford actually attacked down that wing.
It was. I mean, that's all a part of the game. If you see people that are limping or got something wrong with them, you have to attack them players.
It can be a cruel game, can't it?
Well, it is, but I mean, that's what it's all about. You know, you've got super athletes out there, 13 against 13 most times, and if you can see an advantage, you have to play for that.
Blakely, once again, having trouble with the mound of sand and the ball. He'll try to place that instep right underneath that ball. And we'll have a look at his results. No, not quite. But Salford in the lead, 18-10. And I think deservedly so, because they have taken their chances like these and spotting the weakness out there. But Sam Paneper really went for that, and again, good support play, good movement there inside for Critchley. Just coming up to the final seconds in this opening half. We expected plenty of tries, and we certainly have them. And I think we'll have a lot more before we're finished. Paneper, number 13. Joe, you played with Sam Paneper for many, many years. He's certainly enjoying himself, isn't he?
Well, he's a supreme athlete. You know, he enjoys the space that he's been given today. He's a strong one, he's very fit, he's very fast, and he's exploiting the gaps.
Williams won with the pace to exploit a gap, and he does. Jason Critchley, he's got McAvoy outside him. He falls forward inside. Oh, McAvoy, he's going for the line. Almost collided with Ford, but that was a superb team effort. The youngster, Nathan McAvoy. What development in 12 months since Salford signed him. Williams, we mentioned his pace, found the gap, but again the support play out wide, and the sheer pace of this Salford three-quarter line causing problems.
Williams did very, very well here. Turns run inside out to find the gap. Little dummy there, then puts a perfect pass to Critchley. He's got support on both sides. Decides to turn it back inside to Forber. Forber hasn't got the pace to get to the try line, but then turns it into the winger. Both wingers are there for Salford. But it's McAvoy who scores a try.
You see here, Mark Foster is limping. As you see the ball come out, now he did do good work here, Jason Williams. But Foster has got no chance in the world. He's limping there. He's on one leg. He has to come off. He's just a passenger. And Warrington are in a lot of trouble injury-wise. They're carrying players out there with injuries, and Salford are taking full advantage of it.
Blakely again with plenty of kicking practice here in this first half. Another successful conversion from the former Wigan youngster, and the score now rockets out. Salford 24, Warrington 10, and the half-time hooter just about to go, but the Eccles Amateur Rugby League Club will be very pleased with their protege, Nathan McAvoy. Critchley does well here, back to Forber, and Forber, realising he hasn't got the pace, gives it to the youngster. An excellent first half, plenty of tries, and Salford deservedly in the lead, 24-10. Salford, 2 to the visitors, but I don't think this game is over by any means yet. Andy Gregory being drafted into the coaching setup here with chief head coach Gary Jack, obviously satisfied with the way the side is playing. Warrington, plenty of potential, plenty of attacking force in the Wyres midfield to provide a comeback. And the match factors there, the handling errors, excellent for me. It's a dry day, but we can see there from Salford just 2 mishandling errors. And I mentioned earlier on about possession, 17 minutes in possession for Salford. That has been the big difference. Mr. Connolly to get the second half underway. Any predictions, Steve?
Well, Warrington have to be the first to score in this half, or they're certainly dead and buried now. But at this stage, Salford look well on top.
Warrington then will be looking for some early points here. Gary Tees, the first half try scorer. And they really do have to use these big forwards in midfield. Men here like Maguire. Good tackling from Panifer.
And the referee, John Connolly, gave both teams a fairly stern talking to at half-time. He said, any more holding down, and that player guilty will go for 10 minutes in the sin bin.
Well, Mr. Connolly, I really do feel sorry for him at times, coming from Wigan and a side that's in every final in the game. The poor man doesn't seem to be able to manage a major final, Joe, does he?
Well, possibly this year. He's certainly refereed this game very well in the first half.
I think that's one of the things that Greg McCullum may be changing is the hometown ruling, that he'll be able to referee Wigan games.
Yeah, I must confess I could never see the sense in it, Steve. Well, that was anybody's ball. Jason Williams is appealing. He wants Mr. Connolly to consult the touch judge. So does Mark Lee, but he's his own man, is this Wigan referee.
Yeah, the kick through there came off the wingman, sorry, off the centre's legs.
Joe, did I hear you say that Mr. Connolly might referee a final this year?
Yeah, if they let hometown referees referee the sides, then that's possibly right.
You got out of that nicely, Joe. Jason Williams, he's looking lively in midfield, Steve. It's been a good switch.
He's a good elusive player, Jason. When I was at South Sydney, Jason was there. He's very light on his feet and got a lot of pace.
The trio of Brown and Williams and Blakely are very light. lightweight, but they're not afraid to take the line on.
They've just got that little bit of extra pace when they hit the line to get through the holes.
With Salford's Andy Gregory, who's not playing for injury. Andy, this is the new Salford of late, isn't it?
Yeah, we've been going well the last couple of weeks. We had a good first half there, but obviously Warrington's got the win behind them. I think they'll use a good kicking game this half, so the lads have just got to keep it going.
A lot of pace, a lot of attack in Salford.
Yeah, there is. We work on it hard in training, and things are coming off. We scored a couple of good tries later on in the first half, but like I say, we've just got to keep it going.
Thanks, Andy.
Keep it going, says Andy Gregory, but it's Warrington keeping it going at the moment. They've got to haul themselves back into this game, trailing 24-10, but on that Salford 20-metre line. Kelly Shelford trying to work in midfield, gets it to Maloney. Maloney, he's got a gap, he's found Greg Mackey, and Greg Mackey has found the points that the visitors needed. The Aussie skipper in there for a try, his 6th of the season, and it was his half-back partner Francis Maloney that put a smile on those ladies' faces. 24-14 now for Salford, but Warrington coming back.
I think it comes from nothing here. You'll see that Kelly Shelford, he takes the ball up, runs out of options, looks for the inside. All of a sudden, he comes late there, Francis Maloney. He's got a lot of strength and good backing up the middle. He had a couple of choices. Bruce Maguire in there, but he opted to give it to Greg Mackey. I think there that if you see later on that Phil Ford may have tried to trip him.
Well, we can see here Greg Mackey, there his foot. Well, he does.
Maybe lucky to still be on there, Phil Ford.
Justin Harris with the kick. His 3rd attempt. Just seeking to compose himself. Always has that one last look at the post just to check if they are there. And they are. And there's the 2 points. So, as we said at the beginning, Warrington always with attacking potential in midfield. 24-16, they are in this game.
Steve mentioned that Warrington had to score the first and the second half. That's exactly what they've done here. Lovely ball across. I think Bruce Maguire was a little shocked that he didn't receive that ball, but Greg Mackey scores a try.
In fact, Bruce Maguire almost could have caused a problem here, couldn't he? That ball just... Well, did he touch it with his hands? I think he did.
Sometimes it may not be good to have too many options.
Mackey. Geez, Warrington seem to be bringing these forwards on much sharper, Steve.
They are. They're hitting the advantage line good now. They're trying to stand and look to offload, and they've picked up a little bit Warrington since half-time.
I'm sure a few stern words from Brian Johnson's had something to do with that. They certainly have up the tempo, Warrington, and the forwards are running much straighter.
And Greg Mackey to Kelly Shelford. Gary Tees. Tackle. Now then, the ball to Maloney, and Maloney puts a high one there. It's caught in the wind, but it's well picked up by the substitute, Scott Naylor, coming on for the youngster, Nathan McAvoy. And there is Naylor. The wind quite tricky in that corner. But it's Salford again, opening the ball out to Phil Ford. Ford and Williams causing problems. And Chris Rudd penalised this time. And Phil Ford saying to Mr. Connolly, what about the sin bin? Well, it's a possibility. very, very quickly, thanks to Greg Mackey. Blakely. Steve Blakely again. Terrific pace, but still Salford on the attack. Sean Brown, no way through. And Brian Johnson likes to be alone with his thoughts at these matches. And once again, Salford trying to use this wind, but the wind very, very strong. Blows it back to Paul Forber. Picked up by Barlow. A loose pass there by Paul Forber.
Well, it was the last tackle, so he didn't have much option there. He was going to be tackled at the changeover anyway.
Salford trying to use the dummy. I'm pretty sure that should be Salford's ball. No, Mr. Connolly giving a knock on. I don't think Eccles, the number 10, could quite get hold of the ball there.
Well, Greg Mackey tried to drop on it. There was a few hands in there. Everybody dives up to try and get the ball, but he's given Salford the feed.
I think he could have been a bit unlucky there, Greg Mackey. He was certainly tackled without the football.
Blakely. Williams. Dancing, dodging about this Canterbury Bankstown star. New Zealand test winger playing in the centre here today. Salford on that 20-metre line. Eccles. Edging nearer to the line. Craig Randall, the try scorer. Well held there by Greg Mackey, one of the smallest men on the field, tackling the forwards. Randall again, not really expecting the ball, but did well to get that ball out to Lee. Lee to Panipa. Sean Brown, he's got Critchley outside, just couldn't get the ball across. On the fifth tackle, Blakely is looking for a drop goal. Oh, it's ricocheted off. Brown's in there, but so is Yestin Harris. The youngster did well to catch hold of that ball. A tricky bounce for Warrington.
Yestin Harris did very well here. The drop goal attempt was touched. Yestin Harris kept alive to it and managed to keep hold of the ball.
And it's Warrington using that short side. Mark Forster. Not had too much of the play, but 17 tries this season. He's been in good form. Kelly Shelford's had a lot of the play. Oh, and Greg Mackey was put down off the ball there, but he's back in the play again. Back with Maloney. Offside. And just look at the state of Greg Mackey's nose. He was certainly tackled off the ball. Maloney. It's all Warrington at the moment. Shelford coming along to this side. It's to Roper. Roper, he's a strong lad. The tackle's really going in hard now. Bennett, Gary Tees. Desperate defence here from Salford. Mackey calling for the ball. He wants to get it out wide. Oh. Gary Sanderson. Mistake there. Mackey, once again, he's got Harris out wide there. Foster, well held by Paul Forber. The big Salford second row did well to get across there. Harris puts the little kick in, but into touch. Chris Rudd just querying who has the ball.
We'll have a look here. Yestin Harris puts a little kick in there. I'm not sure whether they come up with a Salford player or not there. It's just hard to tell. They're ruling that it's come off a Salford player there, so Warrington's still on the attack.
Certainly, the ball didn't hit full forward.
It was bad play by Salford before. On the last tackle, they give a penalty away.
With the advantage then to Warrington here now, a sequence of 6 tackles. Warrington attacking here now to Forster. Back to Mackey. Mackey up to Maloney. Maloney, he's got support. Oh, ricochet! And Sam Paniper came along just in time. But Salford were on the rack here.
Salford scrambled very, very well though. Just a touch of the hand there and Sam Paniper is able to regather.
Sean Brown, Blakely, this ball now moving from wing to wing, pulled forward with a yard on the outside. Scott Mann to Eccles, this is good play. Panifer, he's got Jason Christie, but the wingman has cut inside. Sam Panifer, he seems to be everywhere. What a tremendous match this Kiwi's having. Number 13 for Salford. On the 5th tackle, Mark Lee. Back to Mackie. The action is non-stop, Steve, isn't it?
It's been good entertainment this from one end of the field to the other. Both teams are looking to throw the ball around.
Shelford, Maguire, he's got Harris alongside him. Nice step from Harris, finds Forster. But again, the Warrington sliding defence, moving out very, very well there. Forced to come inside. 2 or 3 red shirts out there. But Shelford moving forward. Looking for support. The ball knocked back to Scott Mann.
I've been very impressed how well Scott Mann's played today. Very impressed indeed. He's doing very hard. He's been safe when the kick's been on. He's always been there in support.
Ian Blease there coming on for Randall.
What was worrying Warrington in the dressing room at half-time, and there's a lot of discussion about it, was that they weren't really running the ball for 5 tackles very often, but they weren't capitalising on what they had, and that really doesn't seem to have improved at this point in the game.
Oh, Blakely, that step on the pace, he's going for the corner. A magnificent sidestep, but Greg Mackey was there, the Warrington skipper. He saved a try. And interfering at the play the ball. Mr. Connolly going to send Greg Mackey to the sin bin. Well, Greg Mackey saved a certain try there with a superb cover tackle. But he's earned himself 10 minutes in the sin bin for interfering at the play the ball. Mr. Connolly, relentless in his pursuit of the rules around this area.
Greg Mackey just stayed on too long at the tackle.
Scott Naylor. Literally no time to breathe here for the players in this game. Moving from one side to the other. Ian Blease loses it. Picked up by Bennett. He does very well to get away from that line. So Warrington down to 12 men. Gary Sanderson in the headgear, number 15, substitute, bringing the ball away. Maguire, good run. And again, interfering. This time, Cliff Eccles. And Eccles is going to the sin bin. Well, sooner or later, these players will get the message from Mr. Connolly.
John Connolly, the referee, sticking to his promise here. He warned the players before the game and during the game that if they were caught to the play the ball, holding down or interfering to play the ball, then he would sin bin them. And that's exactly what he's done.
Well, it's all got back to Salford when they got the penalty. He should have kicked the goal back there. If they had to kick the goal, it was going to slow that they'd have got the ball back anyway if they missed the goal, but they chose to take a quick tap and lost the ball.
Play carries on. Sanderson out to Paul Cullen. Well, I watched the match at Headingley last week and between Leeds and Wigan, and we had 4 sent to the sin bin to play the ball offences. We had a magnificent game then, and we've got a magnificent game here. Ian Blease and Paul Cullen just having a little altercation. Nothing to it really, and nothing really worth that antagonism.
Ian Blease went for the ball, they just knocked it down.
Sensibly, Mr. Connolly having a word with the 2 players. He slows the game down, settles the players down, puts his message across. Warrington. On the attack, Maloney to Kelly Shelford. Still Warrington switching it to this left side. Maloney going south. He's a powerful half-back. Just a couple of yards from that Salford line. Out to the right now. Shelford finds Sanderson, but he finds Paul Forber in the tackle. Still down that side, Kelly Shelford. Oh, crunching tackle there by Ian Blease. Still Salford defending desperately. Chukwuemeka slips the ball under. Paul Forber was in for the tackle, but the referees give the try to Kelly Shelford. Superb one-handed pass from one Kiwi to the other. And it's the loose forward Kelly Shelford in for the touchdown at the corner. 24-20, and the Warrington fans sensing that there's a fight back here.
Well, with 12 men on either side, there are going to be gaps, but that was a lovely pass. Phil Ford did exceptionally well here to hold Barlow up. We're unsighted from this angle, but the referee gave the try.
Well, have a look, that was a great ball from Barlow there, and here's Kelly Shelford. That's a try. Yeah, he got the ball down. That was fair play there.
Not an easy kick for Harris. The wind swirling around here at the Willows. Needs good judgment from the youngster. But it's a kick that would really put heart into the Wires supporters. Oh, it's heading down, it's over! Just over the crossbar. That's the difference that conversion makes to the Warrington fans. 24-22 now. That's some game on our hands.
It's set the stage for the last 20 minutes here of some exciting stuff. There's a great ball from Barlow there. Kelly Shelford, who was limping earlier, gets over the line here. Phil Ford just hasn't got the strength to hold Kelly Shelford back. He gets the ball down one-handed for a good try. But Salford's gone to sleep a little bit. They had Warrington at one stage. Now Warrington's fought back.
Just 20 minutes remaining then. 2 points the difference. And it's Kelly Shelford who's doing the damage in this half. He looks a little critical, but I think we'll see on this. There's no doubt at all. It's in front. A try gone begging.
Warrington's Greg Mackey anxious to get back on. Greg, some trouble with the application of the rules?
Yeah, certainly that holding down, and players, you know, we've all been instructed to try and, you know, slow down the players with the ball, and the rest have tried to tell us to, you know, speed it up. So it's a conflict of interest, and we've got to adjust to it, but we find it very hard because, you know, as we must say, it's only just been brought in.
Can you turn it around when you get back on?
Well, certainly there was a chance then, wasn't it? I mean, it's a very hard-fought game. We've got the wind, and we're finding that to our advantage, and Salford, I hope, are tiring, but look at them out there, they're coming in guns.
Thanks, Greg.
But it's Salford on the attack, taking advantage of Mackey's absence in midfield. Scott Naylor trying to get the pass out, but not successful. Picked up by Jonathan Roper. And certainly, Steve, Warrington need Mackey in the middle, don't they?
They do, but Salford should realise that they're in front here. They look like they're throwing the ball around at Gay Abandon as if they have to score again. What they've got to do is get the defence in order and make sure that they control the ball. There's another sort of penalty into the right. They're giving a hole for themselves here.
The referee must have shouted here that the tackle was complete. Ian Blease makes the tackle. Jonathan Roper played the ball fast.
There's the comparison in the second half, Steve.
There's a big difference from the first half to the second half for Warrington.
And of course, it's Warrington who have gained the points.
You see in the replay there, he's dropped down. He was offside the marker. He'll be lucky if he doesn't get a red card also, this player, Mark Lee. Yeah, Warrington's going to do the smart thing here, and they're going to kick for goal. Whether they get it, they're going to get the ball back. If they get the 2 points, they're even. If they miss the goal, they still get the possession of the ball back, because the ball will go dead.
As Steve said, a sensible attempt here from Yestin Harris. This would level the scores. But again, in this win, not the easiest of kicks, especially for a youngster who's not accustomed to taking the kicks.
Steve made a valuable point there that Salford are throwing the ball around as if they have to win the game. They are in front. Maybe if Andy Gregory was playing, a player of his quality and his experience, he would be able to play to settle it down and just say, listen lads, we are in front, let's retain possession and pin Warrington down on their line. At the moment they seem to be running around without any leadership.
Mark Lee will not want this ball to go between the uprights. He committed the offence at the play of the ball. Harris comes in then very, very carefully. Oh, he strikes it well. It's a good one. Right between the uprights. And Warrington have really come right back in this game with a bang. 24-24. An exciting final quarter in prospect. Straight between the middle, perfectly struck from the youngster. Coming on for Gary Cheese, perhaps a little more injection of pace, and now it's Paul Derbyshire. Regular second row, but once was a centre.
That was just a tactical substitution to give Gary Cheese a breather. That's why Paul Derbysh is on.
And it's Barlow going for the line, and took Kenny Barlow. He caught that pass superbly. Magnificent catch and run by the man from Waikato. He's not been here for more than 2 or 3 months at Wilderspool. And those Wyre supporters think Christmas has come already. Would you believe it? Warrington in the lead.
Bruce Maguire here makes a great bust. Salford's just forgot how to tackle here. They had a great lead. They thought, that's it, they had the game won. A dummy there. Sean Brown again missed the tackle, fell for the dummy. He stepped off his left foot there, got around Scott Martin, who should have made the tackle also, and it was a great try there.
It certainly was a great try. He's got pace, he's got poise, and he goes for it like a half-back, doesn't he? He sees it, look at his eye, it's on that line, and so is that ball. Warrington, 3 tries in this second half without reply. Back with a vengeance. Harris again. And the 2 points again. And suddenly, Warrington, well, amazingly in the lead, Steve, by 30 points to 24.
Yeah, well, as I say, defensively, Salford's gone to sleep there. 2 players had Maguire, let him go. Now it's a little dummy. Sean Brown should never have fell for that dummy. Well, a step off his left foot, straight around Scott Martin, and Salford are now in trouble.
Kelly Shelford, Paul Cullen, and Eccles coming back from the sin bin. I think this man, Steve, Kelly Shelford, has been instrumental in this second half revival for Warrington.
He's had an enormous second half. As I said early in the second half, he got a bad injury. He was walking around there at one stage. He could hardly walk, but he just kept going.
And Warrington holding every ball at the moment. Yestin Harris. I did say holding every ball until that one. The knock on, and Greg Mackey back into action. Well, has Greg Mackey learned, or has he not?
You see, it's just knocked down. He's saying that it wasn't stolen, it was just the arm, hit the arm, the tackle, and then the ball's fallen out.
Now then, what can Salford do against this onslaught? Jason Critchley trying his best to go round the outside. Back to Ford, to Williams. Williams looks one Salford player who can step his way through these defenders. David Young. To Eccles, Salford looking to establish a platform here beneath the Warrington post. The backs moving into position now. On that short side, forward to Sampanapa. And a good tackle from Chris Rudd. Forward sensibly spotting the gap. Oh, Justin! The ankle tap again. But it was from an offside position by Kelly Shelford. So it's another 6 tackles. There we can see Kelly Shelford had never retired from the play of the ball. Still, Warrington on the defensive line. Salford on the attack. Mark Lee. Switch inside to Panafer. But the Warrington cover has moved up very, very quickly. Craig Randall. Back to Panafer again. Oh, that's a good tackle by his Kiwi colleague, Curry Barlow. And he's lost the ball. Shelford now then. Can he open this ball out wide? He does, but it's a knock on.
This is a terrible mistake here. Kelly Shelford throws the wide ball. Warrington been on the defence so long. To get the ball back from a mistake from Salford and then throw it away again, put themselves back under pressure. Terrible mistake to make.
The same as before, Joe, when Salford were in front, Warrington were in front. Now they don't have to score.
Critchley. Williams moves out wide to Scott Mann. Oh, Scott Mann races inside. Still Salford putting the pressure on here. Drive for that line. Desperate tackling here now by Warrington. Moving it out wide. Blakely cuts back inside. Williams does well. It's like a hot potato out there for Salford. Back to Phil Ford. Side steps off that left. Oh, he struck his way through. Phil Ford going for the line. Bob Cullen intercepts. And Warrington breathe again. Phil Ford was racing through. Cullen gratefully accepted. Paul Derbysh is down injured. And Ford, is he annoyed with himself?
I thought Phil Ford was going to score on his own here. He's certainly got the pace and elusiveness. Did Paul Cullen shout for the ball? Like you say, Ray, gratefully accepted that.
Phil Ford, great step off his left foot there. Goes, takes it on, tries to offload the man there, but Cullen does good work and got in the way there. They've got plenty of players down the ground at this stage, Warrington.
Well, I think this is a sensible stoppage time by the referee to allow these players to recover. It's very, very tiring at the moment, isn't it?
It is. I mean, the game's been tough out there, and as Joe would know, how hard they've played. And if it was a draw, they'd have to play Tuesday or Wednesday.
It would certainly take it out of the players, but that's the ruling.
Connolly just having a final check on Jonathan Roper. He looks groggy, but he's going to get to his feet. He's going to try to finish the last 8 minutes. Warrington will want to put as much distance as they can between the the ball and the try line. They'll drive this forward in the pack, and then the kick. Here is the kick. And it's a long one too. It caught the wind.
I think they could have been lucky on that kick that it went then, because Greg Mackey's kick to his left-hand side here, he got Roper, who wasn't chasing, he was just injured. They had no chase whatsoever.
30 points to 24, trying to goal the difference. 7 minutes remaining. Salford at one time coasting away with the game, now fighting desperately to snatch a draw. And just look at those tackles, Steve. Warrington 118 tackles, and they're in the lead. It shows the pressure they were under in the first half, doesn't it?
It was the first half. When Salford had the wind behind their back, they had good control of the ball and made Warrington work hard.
Blakely, a nice kick, but he fell. He wasn't tripped, picked up by Scott Mann. Little chip kick to the corner by Mark Lee. Phil Ford followed it, but the ball just rolling into touch there. But still, Salford on the attack. Greg Mackey suffering from his wrist. So Mackey leaving the field. Obviously in some pain. Well, he's had a rough time in this match, Greg Mackey. And that's about knock-on. He can hardly bear the pain, and he can hardly bear to look at this knock-on, I think. It gives Salford the scrum, the head and ball.
There's 6 minutes to go still in this game. Both teams are tied. There could be still a couple of tries on offer here.
Scott Mann driving it well there. Just coming up, 5 minutes remaining on this near side. Jason Williams, that's a good long pass. Paul Forbert always lurking dangerously out wide there. Williams again. Back to Panaper, but the ball was behind him. Not a knock-on, says Mr. Connolly.
You get the feeling, Ray, that Salford want to score every time, every play of the ball. You know, instead of settling it for a position, put in a move on, a plan move on, they're throwing it around as if they have to score every time they get the ball.
They're not using the forwards as they did in the first half, Joe, are they, to set that position?
Well, I don't know if this wind's had anything to do with it. There's obviously a strong wind out there, but surely they could play the same type of football, getting good scoring chances and take those chances.
Bear in mind, I think they can see the new electronic scoreboard here with the clock counting down, and that's always panics players, doesn't it, Steve?
It does, because you're trying to push things. There's still plenty of time. 5 minutes is a long time. They could score 2 or 3 tries in that period. But Warrington have just defended superbly, especially when they're inside their own 20-metre area. They have defended hard all game.
Warrington will certainly not want to make any more of those handling errors in this last few minutes. Maloney deciding he'll have a charge himself from the acting half-back position. Possession vital now. Well, he went down very heavily, and so did Kelly Shelford. I think the pace of this game, the clamp down of the play of the ball, it really is causing these players to suffer.
It is. It's very hard. As I said earlier on, that the players now have to be exceptionally fit, because the game has got a lot quicker, faster and harder.
Well, Paul Forber's foot being placed there where it shouldn't. Brave run by Scott Naylor. Mark Lee, Blakely, Panaper, Salford moving this ball out now to the wing if they can get it to launch Critchley. And a knock on, I think.
You see here, it's knocked down by Kelly Salford, and the ball seemed to go towards Kelly's line, so I don't think he knocked the ball on. I just thought, and he's giving the feed to Warrington.
I think that was a wrong decision by the referee, John Connolly, there. I'm sure the Salford players are really upset with that.
A vital scrum, vital head and ball here for the visitors. 2 minutes remaining, 6 points difference. Mr. Connolly had a hard game to look after here.
That's right, Ray. We've mentioned it's hard for the players in the speed of the game, but it's also difficult for the referee. I mean, they have to cover every play of the ball, every pass, and get over at the field, and if it's very, very fast, it's hard for them as well.
Warrington have put 20 points past Salford in this half without reply. You can't have anything more convincing than that. And here's Harris going down that tilt. Oh, that was a high tackle from Phil Ford. I think Phil Ford knows exactly what he's done. Instinctive tackle, but it was high, no doubt about it. And he'll be lucky to stay on the field.
I think he's very lucky to stay on the field. He stepped up, that was definitely a high tackle right around the neck area.
And there can be no excuses for tackles like that. And this is the right thing to do. The seconds ticking down in the corner there, just less than a minute remaining. He'll take up quite a few seconds with this kick. Whether it goes through the post or not, if it goes through the post, that surely is the game for Warrington. If it doesn't, seconds have ticked away. Just a couple of metres in from that far touchline. No.
That's good play. They still get the ball back, Warrington, and with a minute to go, they just should run out their set of 6 tackles now.
Yes, a drop out on the 20-metre line there because the ball was kicked dead. Harris. And Warrington fans and players, I think, sensing quite a famous victory here this afternoon, looking all over and done with just before half-time, and Warrington coming back.
I think you see Warrington here just drive towards the post, use up the tackles and the time on the clock, and then possibly have a drop goal on the last tackle.
Maguire driving down towards the post. Looking for the drop goal from Kelly Salford. The roar behind the post tells you that that is the one-pointer. It makes the game save. Salford would have to score twice now. 31 points to 24 for Warrington. And a great comeback, led by that man for me, the Kiwi test player, Kelly Salford.
Joe's written the script here. As he said, they'll go for field goal. He done well, Kelly Salford, because it wasn't the best pass back to him, but he just took his time and was straight between the posts.
And Salford kicking off again, back to Gary Tees. Tees eventually finds Paul Derbyshire. Minute and a half now into injury time. Salford surely know that this second half performance just hasn't been good enough in the face of constant Warrington attacks. Warrington's championship hopes have taken a knock in recent weeks. That defeated Halifax and at Oldham, but nothing wrong with the form in this final 40 minutes today. Barlow really coming to his own around the rucks as the players opened up there. Maloney. Not taken out, I don't think. The Salford player doesn't have to move. Williams to Critchley. But well held. There is the hooter. A famous a second half recovery from Warrington. 31 points to 24, and at one stage I'm sure Greg Mackey and those fans thought Warrington's entry into the fourth round draw on BBC Radio 5 tomorrow at 5 to 6 was all over. It isn't. It's the courage, it's the spirit, and it's the class of the play in midfield that brought them back. Tremendous effort, Steve.
Oh, it was a great effort there. Great defensive effort, especially the second half from Warrington there.
Warrington just thanking the crowd for the roars of support in that final 40 minutes. Paul Cullen, great tackling stint, and Christmas has started for the Wires.
Greg Mackey, the Warrington captain. Greg, that was some game at half-time. It wasn't possible, was it?
After last week's, maybe a lot of our supporters thought so. But we did have the advantage of that win, as I was talking about before. And I thought we come out and really did it proud, because it was a great effort. There was a lot of blokes going down with injuries.
There were some very harsh words said at half-time, though, about the Warrington performance in the first half.
Well, there certainly was inside our dressing room too, because it was only too familiar, the Oldham defeat. So we decided that we get out here and give it our best shot. We kneeled them, and that was just fantastic.
What do you think it was that turned the game for you then, the second half?
Last week's terrible defeat that we knew we just couldn't come out and do that again.
What about the trophy?
That's great. It's on the way there, but it's a few rounds to go, isn't it?
Thanks, Greg. Well done. Congratulations.